So far, what is your billing up to?
I have not billed.
Right, but
yes.
you better have some idea of your expenses.
In every assignment that I've done for the university, I have provided a discount on my billing, and I have not assessed yet what kind of discount to provide on this particular billing.
So can you give the committee a sense of where we're at?
Senator, I understand your concern. You're trying to get a figure. I'm a private attorney in private practice. I took this assignment with full understanding, eyes wide open, that what I bill may reach the public at some point in time. But the means by which it reaches the public, I believe, is for the university to disclose and not for me to disclose. I usually send my billings out at the beginning of the month. That's next week.
So you're basically refusing to tell us what the cost, what the taxpayers would be paying for this report?
I don't know what I'm going to charge at this.
You don't
as I
know
sit here
what you're
right
going to
now.
charge. But you know your billing hours, right? I mean,
I have a rough approximation. Yeah.
Is it more or less than $50,000?
Likely more.
Lots more?
What was the value for this contract?
The initial contract amount was $25,000.
$25,000. Okay. Has that been billed and paid?
No.
Today? Not yet.
We haven't done any billing yet.
Is there any possibility that it'll go beyond that $25,000?
Well, it depends how long these hearings run, but it certainly is a possibility it'll go beyond $25,000.
Why was the contract split up to a $50,000 and then $25,000 for the redaction?
We did need to talk to somebody who had not only could redact it, but who understood labor law, privacy laws, and frankly was familiar with the university. But it couldn't be our own general counsel, so that's one of the reasons why we went to Bob Katz's firm.
So you released the report, but you didn't release the redacted attachments. Why is that?
The unredacted attachments.
No, the redacted attachments.
No, we didn't. Oh, the attachments.
You didn't give the attachments.
Oh, my goodness, Senator. I mean, surely I could, I hope you will understand. You saw there 4 volumes.
Yes, well, we just scanned it and put it online, and so the report was really difficult to really read without the attachments.
Well, since we've been informed that most people have never read it anyhow, I'm not sure what they would have done with the other few hundred pages.
But that's not the point, President. The point of the matter is transparency, and when you withhold something, people think that we're hiding something. I don't know if you guys understand that.
I do understand that.
So, you know,
I think the regents understand that as well.
So I think that the only point the committee chair is making is when the regents released it and released everything that they could and made the statement to the public, we have given you everything that we can give and we're not holding anything back, and we hope you're now assured, would have helped put the university and the Board of Regents in a more positive light than to have the organization meet for 7.5 hours in executive session.
As far as the Bennett contract, was he paid up to $75,000 just to negotiate with Donovan's attorney?
I believe he was employed by the Vice President for Legal Affairs, which is above me in the chain. I don't know any of the
But it's still a Manoa issue. The athletic director still falls under the chancellor, so I would imagine you should somehow know what is going on.
I knew that he was working for us in this matter. I don't know what his pay contract is.
So when you make a statement that you're saving $40,000 by having to go and not have taken the initial agreement or demand that was wanted was to put Mr. Donovan back in his position until the contract expires, we're paying another $75,000 for Mr. Bennett to have negotiated the settlement agreement that we now have.
Well,
that wasn't approved by the board.
If we are going to count dollars, let's remember that that's $40,000 a year for 3 years, so it's $120,000 we save. I was using the 1-year savings. The salaries that are currently in those positions are $245. Jim will be paid $204. It's a difference of 41, which over 3 years is 123,000.
Yes, but you would have filled that
accrued.
position anyway. We would have saved that 40,000 anyway. He would have stayed in his AD
Not if I
position.
hired at the Coupa standard, which is 240.
And I'm only talking about dollars and cents now. I'm not talking about whether I think he should be in that position, whether he did a good job in that position. But under the circumstances, the fact that one has a contract with an end date, which usually, that's why we do that. So if he left out the contract 7 more months, he was getting his regular salary anyway. But now we have to pay $75,000 for Mr. Bennett. We paid Torkelson another $25,000. I'm not sure what we're paying the PR people because we haven't been told yet.
Well, you're ignoring the money we're saving, and
I'm not ignoring the money
well,
you're saving.
I mean, I don't mean to be a wise guy, but I'll give you $75,000 if you give me $40,000 a year for 3 years.
But you would have saved that. You could have saved that anyway.
I could have, maybe, if I could find somebody to take the position at $40,000 under Coupa.
I bet you if you advertise it, you could probably get, I would put money down that you would get people for less than that. In this town at this time, you would get people for less than that qualified. Does it concern the board that from May 2010 to March 2011, 11 months, that the university spent $2.2 million on outside attorneys? And this topped the $1.7 million that all state agencies represented by the Attorney General's office collectively spent on outside legal counsel for the last fiscal year, including the Department of Transportation, Human Services, and Public Safety.
It is a major concern of this board.
It calculates out that UH spent $1 in outside legal expenses for every $636 in the overall budget. That's staggering, isn't that? And this does not even include the $1 million in legal staff. This is just in contracts, consultants with legal firms. So what worries me is the casual attitude that seems to be occurring every time something happens. We go out and get an attorney for fact-finding. We go out and get another attorney to redact. We're getting an attorney to settle the contract with Mr. Donovan. Contract after contract, consultant after consultant, staggering amounts of money. And in exchange, the tuition keeps going up. Student fees are imposed. Some of these contracts we asked for, we didn't get, getting it piecemeal, and that's the kind of concerns that we have. So I'd like to know the breakdown of what the PR is costing us, and I really can't understand when you have a whole slew of PR people on staff that we have to subcontract more PR just for this issue.
So on the PR area, yes, we do have a public relations office. It has been reduced in size over the years from close to 20 people now down to many fewer. Its focus has shifted from a sort of reactive press media relations to a news organization trying to organize and get things out, very similar to the sort of story you saw on the front page of the newspaper today.
So you have 13 people. Do you have a contract with the PR firm that's been helping you as far as these hearings?
I believe that the contract that we're using right now is part of Katz's firm. Yeah.
Part of, I'm sorry?
Part of Bob Katz's firm.
So
we don't have a separate contract with them for this.
So Ho'okea is under his?
Yes.
How is that possible?
Well, I don't know all of the details here, Senator. I'll be happy to get them for you if you want them. But I believe that when we hire an attorney, they can also hire help if they think they need some management, some expertise.
So the PR firm of Ho'okea has been subcontracted under his $25,000 contract?
Yes, that's correct.
And we assume it's going to stay under $25,000? No. And I'm understanding that this PR firm specifically asked businesses to write us letters to delay or cancel the hearings.
That's certainly possible.
And so, you know, raises concern that we're appropriating funds. These are state funds, and yet here we have this public hearing to bring light to what's going on, and the university using our money to want to not give the public this information. I mean, that's very troublesome. We would like the running total of what this concert has cost us, which includes PR, attorneys, printing of the tickets, whatever costs that are associated, settlement of contracts, settlement of attorneys, all the whatever cost that this has generated, which would include this task group. We'd like the university to have provided us with a factual sheet, a list, which is what question number 1 asks for.
Okay, well, since you've clarified the question, we'll do our best to address the list that you've just provided.
Okay. Can you tell me how we can clarify the statement, a complete breakdown of the running total of costs incurred by the University of Hawaii relating to the failed Stevie Wonder concert and other relevant costs? Can you explain how we can be more clear?
Well, you were clear. By the next sentence, you defined what other relevant costs were.
But the first portion, it says and other relevant costs.
Okay.
And. So the first portion of that, can you tell me how we can be more clear?
Well, you're being more clear now, Senator.
But I'm just saying what's on the sentence.
And we're glad to supplement our response now that you've been clear.
Okay. I'm sorry if I sound like I am going over this over and over, but it's very difficult when you're being paid $25,000 and you cannot understand what the first part of that sentence is. It bothers me, and I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you're entitled to express any opinion or emotion that you wish. We responded to the question. And we made it clear to you in our response, if you desire any additional information, just ask. And as a matter of fact, I made it clear in both responses to let us know. And you're letting us know now, and so we'll follow up.
But the whole purpose of this was to have it for today so we could discuss it. You see this response from the university? Response to Senator Kim's September 26th information and document request?
I think I got it sometime last night.
Can you respond to our concern about, number 1, if you had been a regent, or you are a regent, excuse me, and asked this exact question, would you have been happy with that response?
No, I'm not happy with it.
But you understand why we're asking for this, right?
Yes.
I mean, we in the public want to have an idea of what's the running total. And so, I mean, was it not clear? I mean, are you concerned that we're hiring and paying for a law firm and we get this kind of response?
Yeah, I am concerned. And, to be honest, I mean, if I had to answer it, if it came to me earlier, if I addressed to me, I would have answered it differently.
We tried to be as clear as possible, knowing that the attorneys were going to wordsmith us, and so we tried to be as complete as possible. And frankly, I don't know how much clearer we can. I actually asked the attorney to help us write some of these questions so that it would be in attorney language, so that we wouldn't be wordsmithed like we are right now.
Okay, well, now that you've clarified it, we'll supplement our answer.
Senator Sloan, thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. Last week there was no dispute whatsoever. Mr. Martinson understood the question. Everybody in the room understood the question. Everybody that was watching and has since emailed us, phoned us, faxed us, they understood the question. It shows more and more that Shakespeare was right. First, we kill the lawyers. The problem is that people are tired of stonewalling that's coming out of our state university. They want answers to questions. This list that was put together is just the information that we had. We wanted the university to confirm this, either put additions or deletions, but as it is right now, this amounts to $1,135,200, which is a long way away from the $200,000. And the public demand answers to these questions. And for you to come here and say that this is not clear and argue about the sentence, I think is very disingenuous.